Hi, I'm Shane with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at, I'm going to show you how to install Roadmaster's Direct Connect Baseplate kit on our 2014 Ford Fusion. It's going to be one of the 7 components required to flat tow your vehicle. Let's go over those components now. One is going to be our baseplate. It's going to connect directly to the chassis of the vehicle to give you that solid attachment point for your tow bar. Second is going to be your tow bar. It's going to give you that solid connection point between your base plate on your towed vehicle and your RV. Third is going to be your safety cables. These are going to be a secondary safety device in case your tow bar happens to fail. Fourth is going to be your braking system. Braking system is mounted inside the vehicle, and it's going to allow you to apply the brakes in the vehicle while it's being flat towed rather than having to depend on the RV to stop both vehicles. Next is going to be our wiring. Our wiring is going to allow us to transfer all of our light signals from our RV to our vehicle while it's being flat towed so that we're safe. Our 6th component is going to be a battery charge line. It's going to allow us to charge our battery while we're flat towing the vehicle because our braking system requires a power source to work. Our 7th component is going to be a brake light relay. Because this vehicle, when the key is in the off position and you push on the brake lights come on, we don't want that signal to override our turn signal when we're flat towing it. The relay is going to separate that wire, so we're only getting the wire functions or the lighting functions from the RV. In my opinion, I would want it to look very clean on the front of the vehicle. Some base plates, the safety chain loops are going to stick out a little bit farther, where your removable arms feed into the base plate, they're going to stick out a little bit. With this base plate, when you remove your arms when you're not using or not flat towing your vehicle, you can see here that there's barely anything sticking out, so it really looks good on the front of this vehicle. Another great feature about this base plate is the removable arms. When we're not flat towing our vehicle, we remove the arm, we can store these in our RV so we're ready to use them next time. They're easy to put on and easy to take off. We're going to have a spring-loaded pin here that all you have to do is you push it in until that pin collapses, you twist it and it locks into place. And then to take it off, you simply pull the ring, twist it back, and you slide them out. Now, as far as the durability on this base plate, as I mentioned before, it's going to attach to the chassis of the vehicle, so we know we're going to have a solid connection point there. It's going to be a black powder coated steel, so it's going to be very durable. The welds on it, they're very thick. We're not going to have to worry when we're flat towing our vehicle behind our RV, because we know our base plate is going to hold up the way we want it to. And our base plate is only going to work with Roadmaster tow bars that are hitch mounted. It will not work with tow bars that are ball mounted. Now that we've gone over some of the features, let's show you how to get it installed. We're going to start with this panel right here underneath our hood. We're going to have some push pin fasteners we need to remove. You use a trim panel tool, you use a flathead screwdriver. We're going to pull up the center, and then we want to pull the base out too. So if they come separated, no big deal. You can always put them back together after you get it out. We're going to have several of these that hold this panel down. Then we're going to set this panel aside for now. We're going to have another push pin fastener here, 3 T25 torque shed bolts here, and another fastener here. We'll remove those. In each wheel well, you're going to have 3 fasteners that look like this. You're just going to turn them, unscrew them, and then you're going to pull the fastener in the base out. Next, we'll take a 7mm socket underneath the vehicle. Right in front of each wheel, you're going to have 2 7mm head bolts, and then right across the bottom side of the fascia, you're going to have some 7mm bolts. We need to remove all of those all the way over to the other side of the vehicle. We're going to take a T30 Torx bit. We're going to have a bolt here, 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 right across the front, and then these right here that are holding on the back of this panel. We're going to need to remove this also. And we'll pull our panel down. We're going to set this aside for now. Next, we're going to reach up, and if you have fog lights, we need to unplug those before removing our fascia. This plug right here, we're just going to push on the black tab, and we'll pull out. And make sure you look on the other side of the vehicle and make sure there's no wiring or plugs that you need to remove over there. We're going to go ahead and start pulling off our fascia. You just want to make sure when we pull it off really slow. There's actually 2 plugs that are right back here that we're going to need to take off, so don't just pull it off real fast. We're going to start on the outside. We're just going to pull out like this. Work our way to the center, do the same thing on the other side. And you see our 2 plugs right here. These are going to be the same type of connections. We're just going to push, pull out on the plug, just like that. And our driver's side, we'll have one way up here at the top. Now we're going to set our fascia in a safe place for now. Next, we're going to take a 13mm socket. We're going to have 2 bolts on each side of the bottom of our radiator support. We're going to loosen those bolts and just let our radiator support hang. There. And we're going to take the 2 out on the other side. Next, on each side of our vehicle, you're going to see a piece that sticks out from our frame like this. There's going to be a hole on the top and a hole on the bottom. We need to open those holes up to a 1/2 inch. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. Next, we're going to take a tape measure on our bumper core support, our bumper core here, right in the center. We're going to measure it back 2 inches. We're going to mark it just to make sure we're centered here. What we're going to do is we're going to drill a hole here. There's already a hole on the inside. We're going to make a 1/2 inch hole through the whole thing. So we're going to take a small bit, we're going to make our pilot hole here, and then we'll open it up to a 1/2 inch. To make it easier, I'm going to use a couple different drill bits. I'm going to start with a small one to do a pilot hole. Just going to go a couple bits bigger, closer to the 1/2 inch. You want to make sure when you open up the inside hole, if you don't feel comfortable, put something to block it there because you're running right into the edge of your radiator here. We just want to make sure we don't damage it. For the inside, we're not going to have to push that hard because it's a pretty good sized hole. Just like that, and you're going to repeat that same process on the other side. Next, we're going to have 2 brackets. They're going to look like this. You're going to have one for one side and one for the other. This is going to be our driver's side. The flat side is going to actually sit on top. It's going to cover this hole. This is going to go up behind to meet with this hole in the back. This is going to go to the back. These 2 are going to be right out here in the front. So how we're going to do that, I'm going to go back like this, slide it out, and we're going to rest it down just like that. We're going to take our 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch bolt. We're going to put some Loctite on it, red Loctite. This does not come in your kit, the red Loctite. You want to make sure you get some of that. You can find that here at etrailer.com. You're going to put on this large washer. We're going to go through both sides and then through our bracket. And then on the inside, we're going to put on a 1/2 inch lock washer and then nut on the inside. And we're just going to leave them loose for now. Then we're going to take our 3.5 inch bolt, Loctite, down from the top, like this, through the bottom. We're going to put on our flat washer, lock washer, and then nut. We're going to make sure we leave that loose for now. You got it too tight. And we're going to take another 3.5 inch by 1/2 inch bolt, Loctite. We're going to go through this hole. You can see this hole right here in this bracket, through the subframe. We're going to go all the way through to the back side. Then we're going to put on 1/2 inch lock washer and nut. And you're going to repeat that same process on the other side of the vehicle. Next, you can see how I have it marked higher. We're going to need to cut this section out of this guard. It's pretty soft rubber. You can just use a knife. And you're going to repeat that same thing on the other side. Now we'll take our main receiver brace. We're going to set it into place. Line up our holes. We're going to take our small 1/2-inch bolts. Like this on each side. Again, make sure you're using Loctite. We're going from the outside in, and then we're going to finish off with the 1/2-inch lock washer and nut on each bolt. Then we're going to tighten and torque all of our hardware to the specifications and the instructions. You can see I'm starting with the 2 bolts holding my main receiver brace to the brackets, and then we're going to tighten and torque all of our bolts that are holding the brackets down to the frame. Once you're done tightening and torquing everything, you can reinstall your radiator core support. Once you have all your hardware tightened and torqued down for your base plate, it's a good idea while your fascia is off to add any other additional components for your flat toe setup, like your wiring or parts of your braking system. Once you have those components installed, before reinstalling your fascia, it is going to require a little bit of trimming, not only around your base plate, but around the components that you've installed. When reinstall your fascia, you're just going to reinstall it in reverse order from the way you took it off. We're going to be moving on to the diode wiring installation on this. We're going to be creating a video to help walk you through that installation, which you can find here at etrailer.com.